Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines, coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander flying solo today as Nate is off for this video, specifically traipsing through the woods of New Hampshire. I believe maybe he's on his way to Denver. My man does have a nice 3-point shot. The Nuggets could use a little bit of help on offense. We are going to talk game 4 Nuggets and Suns as the Nuggets look to stave off elimination via a sweep and at least win one game at home. They have been playing decently on offense, not really comparatively to how they played this season, and they've played horribly on defense. We'll see what they have in store for game 4, and we'll also take a look real quick. I kind of wanted to start things off seemingly a little backwards, but start things off with some series odds, some futures, take a look a little bit about what we might be able to expect from the Suns, as I think we can probably put the close on this series, even if the Nuggets do avoid that sweep and manage to win one for the gentleman's sweep. I do expect this to be over in no more than 5 games, especially as Phoenix will go home, where they've been incredibly dominant this playoff. So, looking at Phoenix's series odds right now, specifically for this series, they're minus 6,000. Probably not a ton of value there unless you somehow think Denver can pull off the complete crazy, never before seen 4-game comeback at plus 1,800 for them on the series. Not really going to probably spend too much on either of those. But then you look at Phoenix to reach the finals and win the Western Conference. Right now, Utah's up 2-0 as we're recording this on the Clippers. They are about to play here in just a little bit, so we'll see what happens with that game 3. But I do think, Phoenix is up 3-0, and they're still plus 190 to make it to the finals, which is second to Utah at minus 155 right now. Both teams are shooting insanely well from 3. Phoenix at 43% in this series, and Utah 42% in their series against the Clips. So we'll see what's sustainable for each. But I think with Phoenix already pretty much a lock to make it to the Western Conference Finals, for them to win it with better odds, almost 2-1 on your money, seems like a really good deal right now. I think I'm going to grab that one right now, even before game 4, and see how that, how the game 3 versus with Utah and the Clippers goes. If the Clips do win that game, you'll probably see Utah's odds get a lot better and Phoenix's drop. So I think it's time to get that as soon as you guys can. Obviously, this will come out afterwards, but we'll still be able to see what those Western Conference champ odds are for those 2 teams. And then Phoenix to win the finals all the way to the chip, that's plus 500. And you can take that right now, but I think there's a couple other that are really worth taking in terms of who the finals matchup will be. It looks to me like it will either be Brooklyn or Philly. I think we can probably put some chalk in there as Brooklyn looks to take care of business and put the series sort of out of reach and go up 3-1. I think they'll be able to do that. And then Philly is definitely owning this series at this point. I think with a dominant game 3 performance, they're sort of inserting their will, proving that Embiid is unbeatable. So if you like Phoenix versus Brooklyn in the finals, you get plus 325 on that for the matchup right now. And then Phoenix versus Philly is plus 1,100. So it seems like worth it to put a little bit of money on both if you do think Phoenix is likely to get to the finals and juice up those odds rather than just having them at the plus 190 to make it to the finals. But all 3 of those bets, I'm really looking forward to putting some money onto right now, as those odds are nice and juiced up for us. So one last thing to look at for the futures here: finals MVP. If you think Phoenix can win the chip there, at plus 500 to win the finals, compared to Book's finals MVP, Devin Booker's finals MVP odds, that would be plus 650. So only slightly better than them to actually just win the championship straight up. But then you look at CP3 finals MVP. The man is playing very rejuvenated, as we've seen, completely dominating this series against the Nuggets, and probably the reason, not single-handedly, but obviously him combined with Booker is the reason that we're seeing them dominate the Nuggets so well. If you think CP3 will be the finals MVP, that's plus 1,500 right now. That does seem worth it compared to the Suns to win the chip. If they do win the chip, CP3 at plus 1,500 to win the finals MVP at that point. I think he's the MVP of this series against the Nuggets, and it seems like he'll have to continue that way for him to be able to put up the points he's been putting up on top of the assists. A double-double there, 22 and 11 in this series against the Nuggets. So you got to like what he's doing. You got to like those odds right there. But let's actually jump real quick into game 4, taking a look at, what's the odds there. It is minus 3 for Phoenix right now. I think we've seen the odds makers do not believe in Denver. And I don't know why you would at this point, unless you think they're going to just come out on a tear, right? Because of how this series has gone so far, but it hasn't not been for a lack of effort, in my opinion, other than Michael Porter Jr.'s defense, which is of the Olay type, as we just see him trying to put a hand up on Devin Booker and just watch him waltz by him, not moving his feet at all. Other than that, I still see the fight in this team. Will Barton and Monte Morris are going to play big minutes again in Game 4. So I do think at least their guard play has improved, which is huge because Austin Rivers and Facundo Campazzo cannot pull their weight at all against CP3 and Devin Booker, the best backcourt left in this playoffs at this point right now. So Game 4, I mean, look, I think at the beginning of the game, you might be able to find Denver value there in terms of them coming out on that tear. But CP3, what he's done in Q3 and Q4, specifically, in this series, is unbelievable, averaging 14 and 6 in the second half of all 3 games in this series. So I don't know why you would think Denver can close after we saw Joker put up 32, 20, and 10 assists, an incredible triple-double that still just felt like it didn't even have an impact on the game when Denver's down 12 points to 8 points for the majority of it before, the Suns pull away by even more than that. So I think we can expect to see a couple of things as far as the line there. I don't feel great about Phoenix -3 just because I do think Denver has something to play for. But that is where I'm going to put my money is on that -3, potentially even just money line parlay that money line with the over at 222 in this game. I think no matter what, you're going to continue to see Denver to fight, which means they're going to continue to try to put up points and put the pressure on Phoenix to continue to put up points. By the way, Phoenix has reached their team total every game in this series, hit the over on all 3 of those. I think you continue to expect that. Denver's defense is absolutely putrid. Aaron Gordon, doing what he can, but we proved that he can't guard Devin Booker. I'm not sure who's going to be able to do that really at all right now, but it's definitely not going to be Aaron Gordon. So, looking at the total there over, continue like that whenever Denver's playing, honestly. I think, Jokic 29.5 points, that does scare me as I'm not sure how much of the fourth quarter he'll play if this series is pretty much coming to a wrap. But CP3, his overs on all of his props there, 16.5 points. He's averaging 22, 9.5 assists. He's averaging 11. And I think, in this series specifically, so I think you continue to target those. Monte Morris was held in check in the first 2 games. And now that he's got his sort of Will Barton counterpart, he's a really great off ball and ball handler. Monte Morris is. So, Will Barton will have the ball in his hands on the wing when Joker doesn't. And I think you'll see Monte Morris playing well off of that like he did in Game 3. Both of them combined for 35. I'll look for their overs and points and probably assists as well for both of those guys, as I think they'll be the 2 other guys with the ball in their hands besides Joker as well, obviously, who handled the ball the majority, and see if he can really honestly just drag this team to 1 win to avoid the embarrassing full sweep. But at any rate, y'all, that is all the time that we do have for today. Nate will be back with us tomorrow as we'll have another video for you guys for the upcoming games. Continue to like and subscribe to the page. Jump in the comments. Let me know who you guys are betting on. I'll be in there tonight as I'm watching the game, that Clippers and Jazz game. So let us know who you guys are betting on. I do want to still make sure that if you don't have a FanDuel or DraftKings account still, make sure you head to fdpicks.com, dkpicks.com. Find all those local listings in your area. There's plenty of really sweet NBA playoff promos as well that I know I've already taken advantage of. So jump in there and get all you can, guys. And we will be back for another one. Until then, happy betting.